Most parents miss this very important window, and it is costing their kids millions. So today, we are going to walk through this chart. I'm going to explain the whole thing, and then we're going to talk about how two of my three kids just opened up their first IRAs, and they're only 15 and 18 years old. So if you have influence over a child, whether you're a parent or a grandparent, buckle up. This is stuff you do not want to miss. So first, let's talk about the chart. I got this chart from the Dave Ramsey website, so I do need to give him credit for having come up with this whole thing. And I will tell you that the interest that this chart is based on is an 11% growth rate in a Roth IRA. Okay, so this is a compound interest chart. And in his example, he starts with a kid at age 16. Maybe they have their first job and they're starting to earn money. We're going to talk all about the details, all about the nuances. But first, let's just get through the chart and make sure that you understand how the compound interest works. And I don't know what the kid's job is. Maybe he is delivering newspapers. Maybe she is working at Chick-fil-A. Maybe they are working for a parent at their business. Maybe they're waiting tables. Whatever it is, this 16-year-old person decides that for 12 months, I am going to invest $200 a month into a Roth IRA. Okay, so you see that it's age 16, $200, 12 months, $2,400. And the account balance at the end of that year at 11% interest is $2,524. So at age 17, at age 18, at age 19, and at age 20, that's 5 years of investing $200 a month into a Roth IRA. The account balance is now $15,903. And if you'll notice, when you get down to age 21, where it says contributions to the custodial IRA stop, that means that they no longer have to add any more money to the Roth IRA in order to reach that $2.2 million balance at age 65. So let me just say that again. To sum it up, if a child from age 16 to 21, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, okay, for those 60 months, they put $200 a month into a Roth IRA, and they stop after that. The compounding interest over time will get them to a balance of $2.2 million if they never add another dollar to the Roth IRA out of their own pocket. Can you just let that sink in for a second? It's a 5-year commitment, $200 a month from age 16 all the way through age 20. 5-year commitment. And they could retire at 65 with $2.2 million just based on their own Roth IRA. That's not even including any kind of other 401k or 403b or whatever other retirement account they might get with their actual career and job later on. So this chart can just show you how starting early makes all the difference in the world. Now, I will say that my oldest son is 18. And up until he went to college, he did not have a job. So it's very important to know that when you are opening a custodial IRA for a child or a minor, that and this is even after they're an adult, and if it's not a custodial IRA and they're 18, like my son is 18, so he had to open his own IRA, I was unable to open that for him. He had to do it on his own because he's an adult. But I had to open up the custodial IRA for my 15-year-old. And whether it's either case, custodial with someone under 18 or the over 18 adult starting the IRA, in either case, you are not allowed to contribute more to the IRA than you earned in a fiscal year or in a calendar year. For example, my 15-year-old made less than $1,000 in 2025. So he is only able to contribute to an IRA the amount up to the amount he actually earned. So we decided that he was just going to put $500 of his money into an IRA. And the reason was he wanted to have some cash left over. I know that kids their age, sometimes they want to save for other things. They have something they want to buy, whether it's like a gaming system, or they want to save for a car, or they want to save for sports stuff, or whatever it is. We just decided he's 15, he's getting started a little early. Well, let's just put 500. Like it was more than half of what he earned in 2025 we put into the Roth IRA. Now my 18-year-old, he obviously was already 18, already an adult when he had to open his own IRA, and he made considerably more in 2025 working his very first job at his university, and he was able to contribute. He contributed all of it, like everything he earned in 2025, he contributed to the IRA. So even though he's 18, and if you look at the chart, even though he's 18, he is more than, well, I guess we'll say, at this point, he would have had to have had, let's say, $5,000 saved already from age 16, and he did not. So maybe he is halfway to the amount he should be at age 18. So basically, since we're not starting at 16, we're starting at 18. You might have to front load more money at the beginning. And the beauty of all of this, in my opinion, the beauty of all of this is that the kids are the ones who earned the money. This is not me putting out my money and my earnings, although you totally can. You just can't surpass the amount that your child has earned during the year. So it's not like you can just go in and put in all 12,000. Did I say that? If you add up 2,400 over the course of 5 years, it's 12,000. So $12,000 up front between the ages of 16 and 20. And so if you start late, you can try to front load. So this coming year in 2026, obviously he will earn a lot more money at college because he'll have 2 semesters of work under his belt instead of just 1. And so hopefully, we'll be able to put the majority of what he earns into that IRA, because we're trying to play catch up here, and we're trying to get him to be on track for the compound interest chart. And I know some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm too late. My kid's not a teenager anymore. My kid is not on this chart between 16 and 20 years old. So I'm going to show you another chart. This is the brand new chart that Dave Ramsey came out with to show the compound interest. And if you notice, the age starts at 21. Okay, so you're not too late. Your child is not too late. It starts at age 21, and it compares how the compound interest works if you start investing at age 21 and age 30. And you can see the ginormous difference here between Jack and Blake. So Jack, he starts investing his $2,400 a year. That's $200 a month. It's the same as the other chart, but he doesn't start until he's 21. And by the time he's 65, he is almost at that 2.0 he's actually over it. He's at the 2.3 million, but the biggest difference here in this chart is that he has to invest for 9 years. So remember, the other chart, if you're working from 16 to 20, you only have to invest for 5 years and you can stop contributing and you'll still hit the 2.2 million mark. Here in this chart, if you're starting at 21, you have to do it until age 30. You got to do it for 9 years, and that's when you can stop contributing. That's an extra 4 years. So you can see, comparing starting at 16 or 18 and going through age 20 is very, very different than starting at 21 or starting at 30. The good news here is, folks, that no matter when you start, look at how much you can earn. Look at even Blake's example here. He didn't start investing until age 30. And he still ends up a millionaire, but he had to invest over the course of 38 years. That is a huge difference between the first chart, where they only invest for 5 years early, and when you start at 30 and you invest for 38 years and you come out with $1 million less. So this is the power of compound interest and how it works in your favor, because we all know how compound interest can work against us. You know, when you have like a debt of some kind and you don't pay off the debt in full, the interest that you pay, it compounds against you, and you end up paying sometimes double or triple your original loan amount or your original credit card amount, and that really cripples you throughout your life. Whereas having compound interest work for you can make your kid or you a millionaire. So you have choices as to who can contribute the money. Your child can contribute the money, or you can contribute the money to the Roth IRA. But the rule is that you're not allowed to contribute, no matter who you are, more than the child has actually earned in that year. So if you can get your kid to work quite a bit, earn that income, earn that money, and then make sure that you are maxing out that contribution, then hopefully you can catch up on this chart and use this chart as a reference guide in order to follow the plan for yourself. Y'all, this is how we change things for the next generation. This is how we break the chains of generational poverty. Let me give you a really personal example. My oldest son, the 18-year-old, who just opened his IRA in 2025, he is a musician. And I know right away there are 100 stereotypes about musicians and income, and some of them are completely correct. But let's just say that my son, it could go either way, right? He could be like this incredible composer like John Williams and make boatloads of money and work until he is really old and just love his career and make tons of money, right? Or he could cobble together a career between touring and playing out and teaching and all the things that a musician would do. He could cobble together a career like that. And in either case, it is very doubtful that he will ever work for a corporation that actually offers a 401k. I mean, perhaps if he got into church music ministry, he might have a job where he gets a 403b, but if that's not his jam, then he may never ever work for a corporation that offers a retirement package. So what we are doing in essence for this particular child is we are giving him the opportunity to create his own retirement, his own investment account from the time he's very young, while he's in college, while he goes to graduate school, while he is still sort of like under, our home and our supervision, and we are helping him financially get through college and all of this, he has this time right now to put all of his money and his earnings into something that is going to benefit him very far down the road. It will, in a sense, like psychologically, take all of the stress and the pressure off of having to make enough to invest in the future. And it will allow him, in essence, to be a musician, whatever that looks like. Whether that looks like cobbling together a career, or he turns out to be some super successful composer. Who knows? I don't know. But I do know that if it were me, and I know that I've got this compound interest thing going on in an account, I'm not going to worry about how far away the next job is. I'm not going to worry that I need to find some like corporate cubicle job in order to have a retirement fund. I'm going to put it in place while I'm young, while I'm still sort of under the umbrella of my parents' home. And I think that is giving him freedom that I don't even think we completely understand yet. And he certainly doesn't understand yet. If you've got kids or grandkids, this is one of those things that can completely change their future. Most of us were never taught this stuff, but it does not mean that we can't teach it to them. And if this video helped you, please make sure you like, subscribe, and come back because we're going to keep talking about the kinds of things that can change your family tree. Thanks for watching.